We've got major developments in the precious metal sector. The gold price, the silver price are going to be impacted. We're going to cover just a few of those major components this morning. First off, we have our Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, at the Jackson Hole Summit today. Guys, be ready for fireworks. It's going to be interesting to hear how the market interprets what Jerome says today. This could be a massive move day for the silver price or the gold price. It could be a nothing burger, but I have a feeling we're going to get a surprise one way or the other, so be prepared. But at the end of the day, right, when we think about Jerome, we need to realize the big picture of what he faces. Also, BRICS, major story yesterday, biggest story. Some people saying the BRICS announcement yesterday may be one of the more pivotal stories of the decade. And I see something very interesting. What does it mean when CNN doesn't have any coverage of it whatsoever? We're going to dig into that. We're also going to take a look at a new article from Kitco, which is super supportive for the gold price and the silver price. Let's dig in, guys, because we got a lot to cover in a short period of time. I'm so happy you're here. Please give this video a thumbs up. It helps get the word out. First off, Jackson Hole. Everybody thinks the Fed's gonna have this new narrative that they're gonna have higher rates for longer. That's what the market expects. The key, the exciting part for precious metals investors is just this. It's just more smoke and mirrors by the Fed. The market is apparently, have you noticed the silver price and gold price hanging in there, doing very well in the face of what is supposed to be hawkish Federal Reserve rhetoric. Silver and gold are smart, right? We talked about that. Silver and gold look out into the future. Platinum as well. They look around the corner. They look around the next corner, and what they see, what they know is that the Fed is just playing games, right? Like the Wizard of Oz, or however you want to say it. It's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. The Fed can't really control inflation. The Fed, at the end of the day, the simple way, the simple way for us to look at it is there's really not a solution for the fact that in real terms, that's what we're talking about, real, man, because we're going to be real when we're here in the basement. In real terms, the value of the dollar is heading down, down, down. So whatever comes out of Jackson Hole today, we may get torpedoed. I'm going to warn you, right? It could be one of those not good days for precious metals. I think it's a 50-50 call. We'll see how it plays out, and then we'll analyze what's going on. But the big picture remains intact. The biggest story, the thing that's really got me mad, okay? It doesn't take a lot to get Ron mad. But I'm telling you, the biggest story of the year, the biggest story possibly of the decade, the BRICS are expanding. And I'm going to tell you about CNN's coverage of it, because to me, that speaks volumes as to just how important this situation is. But let's do a quick review. Let's see if this old 53-year-old brain can name them all. We got the BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Now we have 6 more countries joining the BRICS, okay? Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Argentina, Ethiopia, and Egypt. I think I got that right. That now makes 11 countries. There's all kinds of statistics out there if you're willing to dig in. And you've got to dig in, guys. You got to dig in. And that's the big key point that we need to realize right now. If you want to learn about what's going on in the world, you got to come to Ron's basement. And you're always welcome here, but you got to dig in. And when you dig in, you hear these statistics like, oh, that represents over half of the world's population. Oh, that's nothing, right? Oh, that represents XYZ percentage of the world's oil production. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, those countries together, those 11 countries, and it will be on January 1st, 2024, all 11 of those countries control XYZ amount of the world's gold production, of the world's gold holdings. I mean, the darn Indian households alone, those Indians are hoarders. They've got 25,000 metric tons of gold in their houses alone. That's more than 3 times what we have at Fort Knox. I mean, are you kidding me? Right? The Indian households have 3 times the amount of gold in their houses than we have at Fort Knox. I mean, and we don't even know. It might be unicorn fart dust at Fort Knox. Who knows? Nonetheless, I haven't even given you the big point, the big key. And there's a big zinger, okay? A massive zinger that tells us just how big this BRICS thing is. Because this morning, as I was waking up, thinking about BRICS, thinking about you, thinking about what we could talk about this morning, I didn't plan on doing this live stream, okay? But I thought, I'm going to go see, I'm reading about the BRICS, and it's fascinating. The world is changing. This is massive, massive. So I'm going to go see just what CNN has to say. So I go to CNN's website. You know what I saw? Big head story. I knew it was going to be about BRICS. The world's waking up. No, the big head story was what we can decipher from Donald Trump's mugshot. I'm like, what? Really? And then I scrolled down and I'm like, there's nothing on this site about the BRICS summit. What does that tell us, guys? That there is basically a media blackout on what is most likely one of the biggest geopolitical developments that will impact the silver price, will impact the gold price in the coming year. Media blackout on it. I thought, what does that tell me? That actually probably tells us just how very important this event is, period. I stand by my call for $2,600 gold in 2024. I feel more confident about, look, I don't have a crystal ball. I could be dead wrong. Don't adopt a puppy or get engaged or make any type of financial transactions based upon what I'm saying here. Although me personally, I like gold and I would not be buying a house right now, especially with a mortgage. But I'm just giving you my opinion. But I stand by my call for $2,600 gold. Now, let me read this to you. A super interesting article from our friend, I think this is from our friend Niels. We love Niels. Niels Christensen at Kitco. He puts out some brilliant articles. U.S. debt crisis could ignite long-term gold rally. And you know what that means for silver. You know what that means for platinum, right? But let's just dig in here quickly. The gold market continues to struggle as the Federal Reserve maintains its hawkish monetary policies. We talked about today, right? Gold could have a bad day. Silver, platinum. Jerome is talking at Jackson Hole. That's the Kansas City Feds. All the central bankers, the Western central bankers, are getting together, right? Okay. However, one research firm expects that it's only a matter of time before the U.S. central bank becomes the buyer of last resort for treasuries. Which could ignite a long-term rally in precious metal. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Mathematically, the amount of debt, the deficit, the higher interest rates, there's no way that the current United States fiscal situation is tenable. And when you say fiscal, you're referring to the government and the debt. When you say monetary policy, we're referring to what the Fed does with interest rates and QE and Operation Twisto and all that BS. But what this guy's saying is, mathematically, the U.S. government is up a creek. See, I didn't have to use a curse word. They're up a creek. This gets interesting here. Hold on. It says, this is, all right, here I got to give the guy credit. In a recent report, commodity analyst at Montreal-based BCA Research said that gold remains an attractive hedge against an inevitable devaluation in the U.S. dollar as the U.S. debt to GDP ratio grows. All right, we like this guy. Here's a quote from him. Gold's appeal as a safe haven and store of value will become apparent as fiscal dominance overtakes monetary dominance at the Fed. Meaning the Fed's going to have to deal with the fact that the U.S. government is basically bankrupt. Fiscal issues, right? An emergence of fiscal dominance also would redound to the detriment of the U.S. dollar, make the U.S. dollar go down, and governments and investors' willingness to hold it. Oh, what's going on with the BRICS countries that CNN didn't even cover? They want to talk about Trump's picture, right? Nobody wants, the BRICS don't want to hold the dollar. They're talking about it. We get the tip of the iceberg of the information that came out of the BRICS. There were tons more things that they just aren't putting out there yet. The risk of U.S. dollar debasement will also support gold demand, the analyst said. All right. Real quickly, many economists have dismissed the recent sell-off in bonds, noting that investors are not interested in safe haven bonds as the U.S. economy remains resilient with robust labor market. The rise in bond yields has been difficult for the gold markets as prices drop below critical support. All right, I'm going to end it on that. Gold, silver, platinum have done very, very well in the face of difficult circumstances. That's the fact. We're going to get big news today out of Jackson Hole from our old friend Jerome Powell. Be ready, okay? Be prepared. We could have some fireworks today, all right? And guys, don't underestimate the fact that CNN, MSNBC, all right, the big mainstream, even Fox. All right, I watched little tidbits of all the stations yesterday just to see what they're talking about. Nobody's talking about BRICS. That means the BRICS situation is way, 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 way bigger. Can we get to 100 thumbs up? Guys, please give this a thumbs up. Man, that makes me happy. I'm a very sensitive person. So when I see the thumbs up and it's free, that thing that looks like that, I want to ring the bell before I get off here. All right, I'm not leaving until we get to 100 thumbs up. I'm sorry. You got to stay with me, folks. The fact that CNN, the fact that Fox isn't talking about what is the biggest story of the year tells us that it's the biggest story of the year. We got to read between the lines. You are smarter than the average bear. I really, really, we got 100. All right. There's 10 rings of the bell. Don't forget, I've got another live stream at 11 a.m. Thank you to our sponsor, Pimbex, right? The online bullion dealer. Hey, for those of you who are here, real quick, if you want to win this 10-ounce Britannia bar, in the description of this video is a link, okay? You got to scroll down a little bit, and there'll be a link to a video you go to. Leave a comment. Thanks, Pimbex. On Sunday, September 3rd, yes, 1 week from this Sunday, I'll be giving away that 10-ounce silver bar, and you could win it. All you got to do is go to that video and leave a comment that says, thanks, Pimbex. Thank you for being here. 11 o'clock, we're going to talk about 11 o'clock Central today, 2 hours from now? We're going to talk about $840 silver and a lot more, because there is a ton going on right now in the world, okay? You are staying. Congratulations. You're staying on top of it. I'm reading and analyzing. I'm talking to executives. I'm talking to the world-renowned Coin Shop Chris. And by the way, thank you, Coin Shop Chris. Who else is here? Oh, Neil. Thank you, Neil, for your help. Annie Oakley, thank you. Thank you, man. The moderators do an awesome job on this channel. If for today, we'll talk about Coin Shop Chris. If you want to say thanks to Coin Shop Chris and maybe donate a little money, don't forget, Coin Shop Chris has expenses too. There's a link to his direct PayPal in the description of the video. You don't have to worry about me giving him the money. You can directly make a little donation if you like. Hey guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you at 11 o'clock.